option. I heard you loud and clear. Now I know I'm in my power, and you're not welcome back here. It goes 3, 2, 1. I was seeing through your mask, then I course corrected self. Your manipulative tactics you can play on someone else. What is up, besties? It's your girl, the Karmic DF, back to you again with another video. And today we are going to take a look at Michelle's untimely passing. I already did the video. So in the video, we cover why'd she pass away? What we want to know, why did the family not get an autopsy? Was it really that the liver failed, or was there more to the story? I answered all those, and towards the end, I even got a little bit of messages of what may have happened in her childhood. And yeah, so make sure you watch till the end of the video. My intention with this reading was to just bring clarity and, you know, let's respect that there are real people that are grieving her loss, and I was just trying to find the answers, you know what I mean? Especially with the way that Hollywood is. We can't trust anything these days, and that's on them, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to get an answer that gives people closure, because she was a really great actress, and I didn't know that she even had health issues until I saw all over Google that she had passed away. And then it's like, for religious reasons, they're not doing the autopsy. That felt weird to me. And then it was like, you need a liver transplant, but you're telling everybody that you're healthy. So what's really going on here? And I think I got information from Michelle herself. I felt her, and I felt her spirit team. And even at the end, I asked, is there anything you want to say to the people? And the information came out. So as always, this is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. There are zero facts here, besties. I'm just floating hands on the internet that talks to the dead. So how could I possibly know, right? So yeah, that's really it for today's video. I wanted to do it justice. I wanted to give people the closure that they're not going to get because they're not doing the autopsy. And if you finish till the end, you're going to understand why everything went down the way that it did. And you might walk away from this having a different opinion on the situation. So as always, you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok if it's not banned. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. And if you're new here, bestie, come join the family. We have fun here. We have a good time. And then I don't know if you guys want the CIA video for next week, but we'll figure it out. So don't forget to check out the community posts if you're seeing this when I put it out, so we can figure out what we're going to do for next week. But I'm going to leave it here, besties. thekarmicdf.com if you want to book a private reading. If you wanted to download, I could tell you're lying, because when you're replying, stutter, stutter. Does anyone know that song? I like you even more if you do. If you want to download my new song, I'm actually about to write another song. I'm really excited about that. So that one's going to be more of a grief song. So if you've ever lost someone, or if you've ever had your heart broken, you're going to like the new song that I'm going to be putting out. But don't forget to check out The Potential Was Me. It's a really great song to bring yourself back into, you know, loving yourself wholeheartedly like we all should. And yeah, so I think I will do a general message today. So I am going to do that. If you're new here, my nose itches. I don't know why. If you're new here, I'm going to do a timeless general message. What that is just a message that is meant to find you. You do not have to be spiritual, and you don't have to watch it. If you don't want to watch it, just go to the timestamps down below, and you can get straight to the regular part of the reading. So if you feel that this message could be for you, then stick around, bestie. But if not, I will see you at the Michelle part. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you feel like you got resolute from this? Do you feel like you understand why things happened the way that it did? I feel like I get it now. And I have my heart goes out to Michelle. So without further ado, all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, depending on where I see you. Let's get into it. All right, besties, so if you guys stuck around for the timeless general message meant to find you, then this is for you. As always, take what resonates. Do not let the rest take away from you. And if you want to book a private reading with me, now that the weather is getting better, I'm finally able to do the wait list. So pretty soon I'm going to have regular readings just straight up open. So if you want to be added to the wait list, email me with the headline wait list. It'll be in the description box below. So let's see, what do the people need to hear today, Spirit Team?
I'm hearing 4. This one. This one. I feel like I should put the all of them? Okay. Well then, don't want y'all to go deaf. Okay. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Okay. Depth, love. These came out before, so all right. I'm seeing a theme here. Hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. I think I will cause problems on purpose. All right, so a lot of you might be going through, remember, take what resonates, not let the rest take away from you. You guys might be going through a shedding of skin, a tower moment, if you would like to call it that, an ego death, an awakening. Basically, where, yeah, I'm hearing Eminem, I'm cleaning out my closet. You're revamping your heart space with the little love charm to come out. You could be looking for love, or you could just be looking for people that understand you, because the chameleon did come out. So I think a lot of you have dealt with, like, yeah, it's reminding me of the quote, I was so busy wondering if you liked me that I never stopped to think if I liked you. I think we have some people that are people pleasers or were people pleasers, where it's like, I'm going to blend in. I don't want to cause any attention on myself because there's always issues or people don't understand me. And now you're getting to a place with the whale fin here where it's like, I just want to be me. I have depth. I'm multidimensional. I'm unique, and that's okay. Like, I don't have to fit in. I'll find my people by being me out loud. I love that energy. That's really great. So a lot of you, whether intentional or not, you manifested this, because this reminds me of the Tower card with the flames. And it literally says, well, isn't it the consequences of my own actions? So we might be taking accountability for things we did in the past. We might be rethinking old connections, friendships, relationships, just old things that we've done where it's like, well, I settled, so that I got what I got because I settled. It's reminding me of someone I dated where it was like, I put them on a pedestal because I didn't love myself yet. And then looking back, it's like, of course I got someone that didn't respect me. I didn't respect myself. So we might be doing some reflective thinking right now. If you're seeing this when I put this video out, I believe Venus and Mercury are still both retrograde. So a lot of reflection probably on relationships and what we want moving forward, especially because the duck, I think I will cause problems on purpose, is coming out. It's like, I want to speak my truth. Your throat chakra is being activated. It's like, I don't want to play small to make other people comfortable anymore. I'm tired of it. I want people that love me, that appreciate me. I want to talk my shit. And if you're my people, then I won't have to die down who I am for you. And I think a lot of you have dealt with people-pleasing tendencies where you're just like, I don't want to, yeah, I'm hearing a Rascal Flatts song, I love to love you out loud. So it's like, I want to be me out loud so that I can receive the love that I deserve, the people that I deserve. You might be reflecting on friendships, connections, where it's like, well, of course it didn't work. I wasn't being myself. So, one mask meeting another mask. And then once we have to, those masks will always slip, right? And then you're at this place where you're like, I don't even like you. Because I didn't even know you. And technically you didn't even know me because I was trying to protect myself by being what you needed, but I never thought about what I needed. And I think a lot of you are either already there or you're getting to a place where you're like, you know what I need, yeah, I'm hearing a Usher my way. What I say goes, I'm in control. You're done being a doormat for other people's bullshit. You're done having fake ass friends. You're done having one-sided relationships. You're done settling is the main vibe here. Message from Spirit just popping out. Have you watered your flesh prison lately? Yeah, true, right? So a lot of you might be focused on your health, or this is just a nudge from Spirit to start worrying about your health. Not like worry, you know what I mean? Like, drink more water, bestie. Like, make sure you do that. But I'm also being drawn to the fact that there is a snake that is on that glass of water, which reminds me of like having fake friends that don't understand your depth, and so they're suffocating you and making you feel like you're broken because, it's reminding me of that quote, judge a fish's ability to climb a tree, basically stating like, we all serve different purposes, right? Some of us have depth. Some of us are more logical in 3D. Some of us are more emotional and spiritual. And a lot of you might be, more towards the emotional and spiritual, or like a healthy blend of both. But I think you've dealt with people that kind of drained you dry with the snake on that water bottle. It just kind of reminded me of like people see how nurturing and caring you are. So it's like, let me get some of that, let me get some of that, let me get some of that. But they don't pour back into you. And so you're at this place where you're like, why are connections always draining for me? Why don't people prioritize me? Why do I only hear from you when you're going through some shit, but otherwise it's crickets? Or you reach out to me, but then 2 seconds later, you're complaining about your life. And it's like, you don't even ask. Like, it's reminding me of a reading I got for myself, where it was like, if you ask these people who you are, they really couldn't say anything other than, oh, they're very kind, they're very nurturing, they pour into me. A lot of people don't know who I am because I settled for friendships where I was the caretaker, the giver, the nurturer. But when it's my turn to be nurtured, you know what I mean? And I think you guys have dealt with that. Why is my nose so itchy? What does that mean, Spirit? Why is my nose itchy? There's got to be a reason if it's this itchy. Some of your senses might be coming online. I think that's what, yeah. I don't know if take this if it resonates. If you're spiritual, I see something about like the third eye coming on. You might be feeling presence in your room and stuff like that. Like hypersensitivity is kind of the main message here. So, you know, if you're feeling like there's people in your room at night or something like that, if you feel like your passed on loved one, you feel like they're there, or you're seeing messages, feathers, butterflies, ladybugs, like, take that into account, because it's like our extra sensories coming online. Your spirit team's trying to talk to you. Your passed on loved ones are trying to talk to you. So that's coming out. But I think you're shedding your old skin and you're realizing that the people that love me aren't going to, well, it's funny how I brought up like seeing signs, and then we got this bumblebee here. So you might be seeing bees as well. But this is reminding me of like really rooting into the present moment and owning who we are. Look at the little spicy, what is that, a pepper? So again, eating healthy is definitely a message that's coming out here with the pepper and the water. But it's like owning that, you know, if I'm beautiful, then I'm hearing the song Treat Myself by Meghan Trainor. I'm beautiful, let me own it, you know? Like, it took me years to wear clothes like this, because it was like, gotta cover up, don't want to outstage anybody, don't want to offend my friends, and blah, 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 you know what I mean? And then I got into this place where I was like, you know what, fuck this shit. And I feel like, yeah, like I'm seeing that meme where like they flip the desk over, it's like, fuck this shit o'clock. I think you're just getting into this headspace where you're like, I deserve better, I want better, and so I'm going to do the work that I need. I cannot believe how itchy my nose is. Is any of y'all's nose is itchy? I don't know why. Something about extrasensory. Some of you might be waking up to spiritual gifts, so just take that if it resonates. But a lot of you are just standing in your power with this little bumblebee here. It's like, I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to be who I am out loud. The yellow reminds me of the solar plexus. So it's like, I'm going to say what I need to say. Yeah, Eminem, I'm going to be what I set out to be without a doubt, undoubtedly. And all those who look down on me, I'm tearing down your balcony. So you're getting into this place where you're like, you know what? I'm a good person. So if I want to say no, then the answer is no. That doesn't make me a bad person. If I don't want to be your trauma dumping post, that doesn't make me a bad person, because people that don't respect my boundaries are those that benefited from me not having any. And I don't want snakes in my clan anymore. I don't want snakes in my group. I want people that pour into me the way that I pour into them. Why? Nugs, not drugs. Why this one, Spirit? I think a lot of you are starting to just accept who you are. I think you kind of lived life in the shadows. You could have sold weed or something with a drug dealer here. It's possible, but take that if it resonates. That'll be a select few. But I think you're tired of hiding who you are, tired of playing small to make other people feel better. I think you've dealt with a lot of fake friends, difficult relationships, and you're just getting to this place where you're like, you know what? I have depth. I'm complex. I am multidimensional. I am who I am. And if you love me for me, then I want you around. But if not, I think actually today I will cause problems on purpose. Yes, I will, because you're being difficult, not me. It's reminding me of how I've been saying lately, like, I'm ready to clap back. And I think you guys are getting there too, where it's like, you know what? I'm so nice to you, but it's at the deficit of myself. And if being nice to you requires disrespecting me, then I don't want to be nice. I want to be kind, because there's a difference. People that are kind have boundaries and they know that they don't have to overdo it, right? This is also reminding me of the Ace of Cups. So it's like, I got to pour into myself first. And I feel like when you try to pour into yourself first, that's when people come out of the woodworks where it's like, help me, I need help, support me. Can you FaceTime at 3 o'clock? It's like people aren't respecting your boundaries. It's like, you have one day off and they're like, great, you can do this for me. And it's like, but this is my day off. I want to rest. But what about, I think you've had a lot of takers in your life and you're getting to this place where it's like, I'm shedding the dead skin. I don't want it anymore. I want people that love me. And the people that don't, I will scare them away on purpose. I will start being difficult because the people that love me, I know I'm not going to have that issue with. I think a lot of you probably have like one or two friends where it's like, I don't have this issue with you, so it can't be a me thing. Because it's reminding me of, I have this one friend that I've been friends with him for like 10 years. We've never had issues. And when we do, I confront him and then he's like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way. I'm sorry. I'll do better. And it's like, I feel like you, all of us, we don't get a lot of that. We get a whole like, oh, well, then you're a bad guy or you're this or you're selfish or you're that. And you're getting to the place where you're like, but I'm there for you all of the time. So how could that make me selfish if I'm giving you 100% of me and you give me scraps, if that? You're getting into a place where you're like, I'm good. I'm good. If you were really a friend, you'd be there for me. If you were really a friend, why do I feel like I have to tone down who I am? If you were really my person that I'm supposed to be with, why do I feel like I'm being suffocated? You're getting into a place where you're like, I'm going to love myself out loud. I don't give a fuck who cares, who doesn't. I just want to live my best life and be happy. And I'll burn down everyone and anything that's going to get in the way of that. If I have a job that's soul sucking, well, it's time for me to start looking elsewhere because I've clapped back to you, boss, 5 times that I deserve a raise. I've told you that I'm not happy. I've told you that you keep treating me like shit. And you know what? I think I will be a problem now because you want to call me a problem anytime I have anything to say that you don't like to hear, but maybe actually the whole time you were the problem, not me. And I love that for you because I'm seeing the Empress in my mind's eye. So it's like I'm taking all my power back. My energy's for me. It is sacred. I love me and I'm going to honor that because I deserve it. And as long as you keep heading in this direction, bestie, or if this is where Spirit's asking you to go towards, you're going to get into a place where you feel like, I feel seen, I feel heard, and you're going to attract the right people for you and the wrong people won't be able to handle how bright you shine. Bye, Felicia. You know what I mean? So you're getting into a really good place where you're going to start to like life and people are probably going to fall away. But at the same time, you're going to meet people that are going to love how quirky you are. They're going to love how unique you are. They're going to love that you don't put up with bullshit. And they're going to want to pour into you the same way that you pour into others because you have that depth. You're a giver. You deserve people that give back. And so Spirit's helping you step into the I said what I said, bitch type of vibe so that you can attract people that are just like you. You're calling in your soul tribe. You're calling in your actual best friends, the people that are really going to support and love you. You're calling in better situation. I see like the Ace of Pentacles in my mind's eye. New opportunities are going to come to you because you're stepping into a place of, I'm on my pedestal. I deserve more than this. And so I'm waiting. And I love that for you because that means Spirit's like heard you loud and clear. You want more? I'll give you more. So I'm going to leave that there, bestie. Let me know if this resonated for you. If you want to book a private reading with me, thekarmicdf.com. But Spirit's proud of you. If you're starting this journey, just lean into it. It's hard. And, you know, sometimes you're going to bounce back and you might get a little uncomfortable sometimes speaking up for yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day is what I'm hearing. So just allow yourself to learn how to defend yourself. It's going to take some time. You might go backwards sometimes. That's okay. But you're learning how to be your own warrior. You're learning how to mother yourself. You're learning how to be who you always needed. Your inner child is like thanking you. It's like, finally, now I can feel safe in this world. And that's all because of you. You did that. So be proud of yourself. That's the message from Spirit. So I'm going to leave it here, besties. Again, let me know in the comments down below if this resonated. But without further ado, why did Michelle die suddenly at 39 years old? All alleged and for entertainment purposes only, besties. Let's get into it. All right, besties. So we are going to take a look at Michelle's sudden, untimely death. See if we can figure out if there's any suspicion really going on with it. And my intention is just to bring clarity because the official cause is undetermined, which is just freaking weird to me. So all legend for entertainment purposes only. Thank you to everybody. This is through 30 seconds of ads. But without further ado, besties, let's get into it.
Only get one life. Let's choose to do this right. The path is still inside. Leave excuses all behind. Taking me for granted.
All right, besties. So I do want to say that for the liver transplant, if it is just as simple as that, I do want to see the card today for tomorrow pop out. But with the surrounding cards, we'll see. So all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I'm just doing this to give closure to those that were fans. That's interesting. I saw this peek out earlier. I'm hearing withering away. She wasn't well, so I do think there is a medical cause to this. And the atonement with the swords, it always kind of reminds me of self-sabotage, and 3 and 1 reminds me of the home life. Was there problems in the home life? Like, I almost wonder... I gotta say it. I'm so sorry. I know that the news is coming out that people are saying that, like, she drank, but she didn't drink too much. I don't know if I believe that. Because I feel like a withering away. It's almost like, you know how, like, I'm hearing the words, like, fibromyalgia. Like, you know how people have, like, health issues, and I don't know if that's one of them. But there's health issues that, like, the doctors just don't know how to fix. It's kind of like I'm seeing, like, other... I think she had health issues that they didn't really understand, and it's reminding me a lot. I'm sorry, I gotta say it, but they're drawing me back to when I had a lot of health issues, but I wouldn't stop drinking. So I almost feel like there's a flare-up going on because she's drinking a lot, because it's like, I almost feel like she felt like she was washed up with the child that was meant to be in the beginning. It's kind of like, I'm hearing the song Superstar. I'm not who I used to be. I'm not famous anymore. You know how these celebrities are. Once they aren't in the spotlight anymore, they don't really know who they are. And so I almost wonder if she was leaning on alcohol a little bit too much. I mean, liver transplant, whether or not, again, I'm trying to respect the situation. It could be as simple as, like, having just a few too many. It doesn't mean that she was, you know, a full-blown alcoholic, but maybe she just, because I feel like a sad energy from her, like a where is my life gone, reflective energy, like... I was a child star, because I remember seeing a quick clip where she was like, I wanted to be in a commercial when I was 3 of, like, playing with a doll or something. So it was like, my youth is gone. Yeah, it's reminding me of, apparently she clapped back and she's like, I'm not 14 anymore. I'm 38, because people were questioning her. I think she was in a place where she was unhappy. I don't believe that she was happy in her home life. I think she had a lot of regrets, but I don't really know where that's coming from. We'll see in the cards. But with all the full moon and close to full moon energy, I just feel like 8 reminds me of 8 of Pentacles, which is work. So it's like I'm not working. Was she not working as much? Like, I know they were saying Buffy the Vampire Slayer might get a reboot. Maybe she was hoping for that. But I think with Envious Gluttony to pull to the end and the 9 there, it's almost like, where's my life headed? I almost wonder if she had health issues that weren't that bad, but then she was miserable because she wasn't in the spotlight anymore, and so she leaned on alcohol a little bit more than she should have, which then exacerbated the effects of the health issues that she had. Because I saw something about, like, she had bone issues and something like that. I see an unwillingness to take care of herself. Like, that's kind of the vibe here. It's like, I don't take my vitamins. I don't eat my fruits and veggies. Like, wouldn't be shocked if she lived off fast food, drank alcohol every night, even if it wasn't, like, addict full blown. I just think she wasn't taking care of herself, especially with atonement in the reverse. One of that always reminds me of the 10 of Swords. It makes me think of self-sabotage. So I don't feel anything suspicious yet. More so, like, I just keep hearing washed up. I almost feel like she felt like she wasn't important anymore, and she's looking out at everyone else still being famous, and it's like, what about me? Yeah, I'm hearing the song Pink, What About Us? It's like I used to see, notice how in this card where it's like the child that was meant to be, she was a child star, right? There's so much color, so much potential. There's this little plant here. She plants the seed, it grows into fruition. But we're ending on Envious Gluttony with 9. 9 is like right towards the end. So it's like, I almost wonder if, yeah, because I'm hearing from Harry Potter, I always get this wrong because I don't watch the movies like that. The moping ghost in the bathroom, I feel like she felt sorry for herself. It's like, I'm not super mega famous, so I just don't think she was taking good care of herself at the end. I want to pull a couple more and then we'll move on to the tarot. I feel like I'm trapped. And then notice the fragility of the body. I almost wonder if there was also health issues that kept her from doing things she wanted to do in the first place. So I feel like, yeah, because I'm hearing caught between a rock and a hard place. So let's say like she does have a bone density issue, right? Like maybe there were certain movies that she tried out for where it was like, you can't do this because in this scene you'd have to, and you'd be like, yeah, because I'm seeing one of those things where it's like, you're a liability. Thank you, Spirit. You're a liability to us. I think her health issues cost her a lot of job opportunities, which then made her, you know what, I'm so sorry. I'm really not trying to disrespect her at all, but I think she leaned on alcohol more than we know. I don't know if it's full-blown alcoholism. Like, it's definitely nothing like what I experienced, but it'd be more like going home every single night having at least 5 glasses of wine. Like, that's kind of the vibe. I feel sorry for myself. I feel like I'm trapped. I feel like my glory days are over because this is on top of the child I was meant to be. And it's like, things aren't getting better for me. 2 and 1 reminds me of 3, reminds me of Jupiter, reminds me of expansion and luck. It's like luck's not coming for me anymore. I always have a problem with my health. I always have issues. And I'm trapped. There's nothing I could do about it. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. I think the final straw was the liver transplant. Maybe. I'd have to double check with the tarot, but I did say I wanted to see that card, and there it is. It's in the upright, though. So the only concern I have with it being in the upright is, are we sure the liver was rejected? Because if it was reversed, I'd be more inclined to think it was rejected, and it's not reversed. You know what this is reminding me of? They're drawing me to someone I know in real life that passed away, where their body just began to break down because of everything they were doing to it. It was like they were taking anxiety meds, but they were also drinking because the anxiety meds weren't working, and then they were taking their mental health meds, and then like, you know how like you get prescribed like 5 different fucking medications, and it's like, I'm taking these anxiety pills, they're not working, but then I have these other anxiety pills, so I'm going to take those too, and these still aren't working. I'm going to take my sleeping pills, those sleeping pills aren't working. And it's like, I feel like this was a buildup of unhealthiness over time where her body just kind of gave out eventually. Yeah, and with revenge in the reverse, I think she was at a point in her life where she was just kind of miserable. And, you know, that's understandable, the way they breed it. I mean, look at how she feels chained to, this is who I'm meant to be, but I can't even be who I feel like I'm trying out for roles, and people are saying that they can't because I'm a liability. Like, I don't know if y'all know anything about the bone situation, but did she have, like, frail bones where, like, let's say she had to do an action scene, but she could break a bone? Like, that's kind of the vibe here. It's like, I almost wonder if there was chatter where it's like, she's too fragile and frail for us to put her in anything. And so it was like, I have no options anymore. Because, like, I feel like I'm kind of cast out of being an actress. And this is also reminding me of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I almost wonder if she was hoping that the Buffy reboot would bring her back. But either they weren't as interested in bringing her back, or she just didn't make it. Like, literally, like, RIP. All this full moon imagery, I feel like we know most of what's going on. So I think I'm going to tailor the tarot reading differently. Maybe like what she would want us to know. We could do it that way, especially considering this is so, she's like 39. So her soul is probably still a little bit earthbound. She's probably in between worlds. I'm seeing the oracle card in my mind. So maybe we could get some information from her directly. I'm going to try to do that. Back deck. Yeah, it's like I want my life back. Like, that's really the vibe. Look at all these full moons. I think she was really angry at the end. I think that's why that comment went viral where she's like, I'm not 14, I'm 38 or something like that. She wanted her life back. It's like, I used to be the it girl. I'm not the it girl anymore. How do I get back there? 2 and 4 reminds me of the 6 of Swords. So like internet transitioning into my life. Who am I going to be next? Calling in the storm in the reverse. It's like, I don't know how to bring myself back into where I want to be. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what was wrong with her health. Why did she pass? And maybe any information we can get from her directly. I'm going to try. We'll see what happens. I'll also take a look at why the parents didn't want an autopsy. I mean, maybe they knew, you know, like if I had died in my drinking days, I don't think my mom would necessarily have needed one to know what was going on. You know what I mean? But let's see. All right. So as always, thank you to everyone. This is through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. And if you're new, you're a bestie, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below so other people can find this and we can all get resolute. Okay. What happened with Michelle? What do we need to know? Public eye, judgment card, letting go. I think she was struggling with mental health issues. Remember how I kept bringing that up? I feel like there's more to this story, but obviously they don't want to bring that out. I think she was struggling. It's, you know how like you have health issues, so you're depressed? Like I know a lot of people that have health issues like PMDD and stuff like that. And it's like I feel trapped. Like that's kind of the vibe. It's like my glory days are over. I think this is more of an explanation of what was going on in her headspace. Because this is like, I don't see a way forward. There's always an issue. I want to have hope for the future of new possibilities. But I almost wonder if like she tried, I swear to God, I feel like she was trying out for things and she was being rejected. It's giving me like open call, but they know that she has a health issue. And so it's like, it's not worth investing our energy into her. I feel like she felt like she was washed up. Like, I can't get that out of my head. What about her health, though? When I dropped that health card, I asked about health, and then look at the wine glasses. Literally, I said earlier, remember, I was like, maybe she has like 5 glasses of wine a night. Like, that, I feel like she might have been like a wino, or just, you know, when you go home from work and you have a couple of drinks, but maybe a couple of drinks too many, eventually that affects you, right? Like, they showed a picture of her towards the end where her... the white parts of her eyes were yellow. So, you know, alcoholism will do that to you. I feel like this might be a easy, quick reading. Hold on. I think she felt like she was alone. I think she felt like her career was over. It's like, I don't really know where I head from here. And I'm stuck in my head. Why am I stuck in my head, Spirit? Was she having money problems too? Like, this kind of reminds me of like, yeah, because they're drawing me to like how people with the lottery, like they'll win $1 million, but then they'll be broke like next year because they don't know how to manage it. I almost wonder if she didn't know how to manage her money. Look at how this 5 of Cups kind of looks like her. I think she was really sad and depressed towards the end. You know what it's reminding me of? If you're not spiritual, then you might not love this one. But they say, and it makes sense to me because I found it to be true, that there are exit points in our life that are options if we don't learn certain lessons. So like, for instance, I was an alcoholic in my 20s. Had I not have learned that lesson, there probably was an exit date for me. But luckily I learned that lesson. It almost feels like she wasn't learning a lesson of like prioritizing self-care, prioritizing her health. And so it was like, there's really no way to move forward because she's just slowly declining. So at the rate she was going, it would have just kept getting worse. So it was kind of like, I feel like at the end, her entire body was giving out. Like, even if that liver had taken, there would have been another host of issues. That liver, I don't feel like that liver was ever going to take, if I'm being honest. Because it's, you know how like you watch those ER shows and it's like they got to give you a liver transplant and like they finally found it at the end. They're like, oh my God, we finally found a match. But then they see that the heart's also going and the heart's too weak for the surgery. Like, that's kind of the vibe here. I almost wonder if like her heart was too weak for the surgery. But then like, I don't know, Spirit, can you show me like what was going on with her body? Make something hurt. I'll deal with it. Does she have kidney issues too? Because they're reminding me of like UTI infections and stuff like that. Guys, I really feel like her entire body was giving up on her. I almost wonder if she had a health condition that she either kept private or other people knew that were close to her, but it's just not out there because she feels like a more private person. I think she had a host of health issues. And I think she was the type that didn't take care of herself because I keep seeing like late night drives to like McDonald's, or I'm buying a box of wine to just kind of relax and get out of my head. I really think like, I mean, she's a Libra, air placement. Y'all know what it's like to get in your head. I think she had a lot of anxiety. I wouldn't be shocked if she was on mental health medications, like for depression, like Zoloft is what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's literal or just to get me there. It reminds me a lot of, I'm sorry, but it reminds me a lot of my 20s when I was on like 8 different medications. But in reality, I had to quit drinking. That was the biggest issue. So this feels like an accumulation of not taking care of the body. I'm not pouring into myself. I'm not doing what is best for me. I feel like I'm a washed up actress. My hope is the Buffy reboot. Spirit team, can you tell me anything about the Buffy reboot? Like, was there any? Notice how she's not in the party. I almost wonder, I don't care what they say, because I guarantee, you know, they want to respect the dead, so they're going to lie if they need to. I almost wonder if they weren't going to bring her back because they knew her health was in decline. So I almost wonder if, because there was rumors about a Buffy reboot, I almost see her being like, this is my time to come back. Like, this is how I can finally come back. Because, like, I didn't hear about her. Were you guys hearing about her? So it's like, I feel like as they were celebrating the reboot that was supposed to happen, she wasn't invited. It's giving me like I wasn't allowed. I have swords. So how do I save myself? Rejection. Honestly, I don't think there's anything nefarious about this. I am going to look into the parents. Because why don't you want an autopsy just for clarity's sake? But honestly, I think they knew this. I think she was sad. I think she was depressed. I mean, think about how she snapped back at that comment, right? Like, you're bothered if you're going to respond that way. You're bothered if you're like, excuse me, I'm not 14 anymore, I'm 38. Like, obviously it bothered her that people were commenting on her looks. So she's obviously in some form of pain, right? And I think she thought that, because they had me use this deck, and I was like, but I'm not really, I'm going to be honest, I'm not feeling anything nefarious. But now that I look at it, it's like, in this, it feels like I'm drowning. It feels like everybody's celebrating but me, right? And then with this card, this kind of reminds me of like the Buffy vibes. And she's a Libra, so it's like, that will help me reestablish myself as a hero or as a brand name again. But then Four of Swords is like, I'm rejected and I'm being haunted by my health. I'm being haunted by the past and I can't move on. I almost wonder if there's like a director or something and it's like, the cost of working with you would be too much. It just feels like they couldn't depend on her. Is there any rumors or anything? My sleuths, you could do your internet digging if you'd like. Is there any rumors that like towards the end of her career, like she was having issues with like, because I'm being drawn to things where it's like you have to think about Buffy, right? Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you're going to have to do some action scenes, right? And it's like, I can't because I could break a bone, or I can't because my health issues. It's like, I'm not dependable anymore. That's kind of the vibe. I'm not dependable. I'm getting depressed about that. I'm trying to free myself from it. But it's like a vicious circle, vicious cycle. And with that King of Cups there, I know some of you are like, Diddy. No, I don't feel it. I don't think she knew anything. I mean, she might have, but nothing to the point where anyone would want to take her out or nothing like that. This is more like she was headed in a bad direction and this was the exit. That it happens. I've lost a lot of people to drugs and addiction and stuff like that. I just think she was not well at the end. And I think she was trying to find her financial footing again, but it's almost like no one's giving me a chance. No one's really wanting to work with me. But I think it's like, I wouldn't be shocked if she was like trying out for things, but then at the same breath, she'd be like, but I can't work for certain hours because I get tired quickly. Like, I almost wonder if she had an issue where, like, because her health was failing her so much, it'd be like, I can't work these 16-hour work shifts because I need breaks because my body is exhausted. Her body was giving out on her. Like, that is a main, I feel that in my bones. It's like, they're showing me the inside of the body, like, you know, health class-wise, and it's like, I'm seeing the liver being a problem, but then I'm also seeing the heart light up and I'm seeing the kidney light up. So it's almost like, remember, it's all connected. You know what I mean? So whatever, I think she was drinking a little bit too much. I don't know if I'd say full-blown alcoholic, but I think she was leaning on it to escape her pain. And then it was kind of like seeping into her other organs. Like the body responds to that shit. You know what I mean? If you're constantly drinking and the liver is having to work overtime, other parts are you going to have to, like, for instance, I got to bring this up. I really didn't want to, but they keep showing it to me. When I was an alcoholic, I actually got put on 3 different heart what is it, pacemaker, whatever the fuck it's called. I was put on 3 of them because my heart was so bad. My blood pressure was through the fucking roof. And so I had to walk around with those little sticky things on my chest to monitor my heart, when in reality, the issue was I was drinking too much. I didn't have health problems. The problems was my body couldn't handle all the alcohol I was putting into my system. Does that mean she was a full-blown alcoholic? I'm going to leave that alone. She might have just been drinking too much, right? She's very thin. And then if you're not eating healthy on top of that, like you don't have to be a full-blown alcoholic. You could just kind of be, you know what I mean? Why didn't the parents get an autopsy? You know, I'm hearing the song, you already know it. I think they already knew. You know, it's kind of giving me a vibe of like, we have a feeling. We don't want it coming out. We want to respect her privacy. We knew she wasn't well. And we don't need it coming out that like accidental. I think they were afraid of it ending up being accidental overdose, being part of it. Because again, it's reminding me of people I know in my real life. Where it's like, technically they didn't try to overdose, but because they were doing so much damage to their body, that's what happened. Because I just keep seeing like, if we open this wound, people are going to come out. They're going to get the autopsy. I don't think it's a religious thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't. I think it was a respecting of her privacy, because they wanted her to be remembered for everything that made her wonderful. Like that. Honestly, I'm kind of shocked. Hold on, let me pull 3 more. But honestly, I feel a protection of Michelle. I don't feel nefarious activity. I almost wonder if there's also like clauses or something where like if you did it yourself, you don't get money. Do you know what I'm saying? Like don't they say that like if you commit suicide, you don't get a payout? I almost wonder if that's part of the reasoning too. Like we'll leave it alone as just the liver didn't take, but in reality, it's like the full body is shutting down. And if we really looked at it, it's almost giving me like if they had opened up the body, they might have found that like there was a BAC. For those of you that don't understand what that is, blood alcohol content of like 2.5 or something. Like I feel like that girl was drinking to deal with her sadness. I'm going to be honest. You think liver, there's not much else that could go with that. Sure, you can argue other health conditions, but it feels like my body's slowly giving out on me. With that 5 of Pentacles upright, I mean, if that was reversed, then I'd be like, okay, there's something fishy here. But 5 of Wands is about conflict. That's reversed. So I think it was an inner conflict of if we open this up, people will want... I think the parents knew how... Yeah, it's like... I think Michelle was a more private person. She didn't want her business out there. And so the parents were like, let's protect her by just leaving it alone as liver didn't take, because people don't need to know that she was depressed. People don't need to know that. And now I kind of feel like a dick for doing this reading, but let this be a lesson to all of us, right? Like we need to go and get our health checkups. We need to monitor how much we're drinking. We need to make sure that we're putting really healthy food into our body. I also think that she had times where she didn't eat at all because, you know, like it's reminded me of like when I would drink and it wouldn't make me hungry. And I actually had a really fit body because I was only drinking. So I feel like she didn't really have an appetite. And I think her parents knew this. And it was like, if we did an autopsy, it'll be on TMZ tomorrow, and then people will be talking about how she's an addict, and people will be talking about how she's mentally unwell, and they just... That 10 of Cups is upright. So it's like, I want to protect my daughter, the Page of Wands. I want to protect her. I really don't feel anything. I'm going to keep pulling. But the only nefarious thing that I could feel, and honestly, I respect it, good for them. I think they were worried that there wouldn't be some form of a payout for them to like bury their daughter and do all that stuff if... Like, because this reminds me of the Popo, like, flashing the badge. If they had found out, like, oh, well, your daughter did this to herself, so we're not... You know how... Yeah, because they're drawing me to Mangione, whatever that dude's name is, where the companies will do anything to deny and defend what they're doing and not pay out. So I think that the parents went with religious reasons so that it wouldn't be... You know, because I see them being like, spirits tapping me into the parents having a talk. I don't know if I'm literally seeing them having the talk or if they're just showing me what went on. But I see the parents being like, if they open her up and if they find out that she's been damaging her body for years with like alcohol, and I don't really think it's drugs. I almost wonder if she was on like anxiety meds and depression meds.
And because all of that mixed, like it literally says like don't take alcohol with your anxiety pills. So it's like I think they were worried that if they got an autopsy, they would blame Michelle and then there wouldn't be a payout. That's the only level of nefarious that I feel here. We won't get the money to be able to take care of our kid. Are her parents like not famous? Like, are they regular people? Yeah, because I'm hearing John Legend, we're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. So I think they were worried about, are we going to be able to cover the expenses of the funeral? Are we going to be able to cover the expenses of everything, the doctor's bills, right? The medical bills for the liver transplant. I think there was a lot of shame. And so it was like, if we just play the religion card, which fair in this case, fair, then it doesn't have to be brought out and we don't have to disgrace her name. And honestly, I'm not here to disgrace her name either. I think she was struggling. I don't think she was like a full-blown alcoholic where I'm waking up in the morning and I'm drinking so that I can numb. It's more of like I'm depressed, so I lean on alcohol a little bit more than I should. Anything else about her parents? Yeah, with the star card in reverse, it's like, I don't want to expose her. That's the dad. Okay, what about him? Hold on. The death. Okay. Exposure, dude. This is like the last thing I could do for my daughter is protect her. That's the I kind of want to cry. Like, this is kind of sad. The Ace of Swords is like communication and a new. I see like TMZ running and taking pictures and stuff, and the dad is like, let me protect my daughter. Let's just say, and maybe, maybe it's religion. Like, you could lean on a lie that's partly true, right? Like, they say the best lies are closest to the truth, which is not me condoning you to lie, but I'm hearing like omission is betrayal. So it's like, we'll just leave out a couple things so that I can protect my daughter. I mean, look at this man holding this dead body of a woman. It's like, the least I can do is protect my child. That's what I was always supposed to do. I don't want the reason for her death, Ace of Swords. I don't want the communication of her death to get out there, because then they're going to run with something of, now they're going to call her an alcoholic. Now they're going to call her an addict. Now they're going to call her names. I don't want that to happen to her. Let's leave it alone and respect it, and let's just let it be a liver transplant gone wrong. This is family protecting themselves. Honestly, I think this is beautiful. It's sad, but I think that Michelle's body I wouldn't be shocked if this is quite literally like there were times where they had to carry her because she was so weak. And it's a health shit too. Any final words, Spirit? I feel like this speaks for itself. This just seems like a really sad story of what the industry does to these people. They find their identity through being an actor. They get older. Nobody wants to work with them anymore. They feel unworthy and they don't feel like they're loved. They feel abandoned. All their wounds get hit. And then they lean on substances because they can't handle that shit. Could you? I mean, what final... Is there anything Michelle, her higher self, her spirit, is there anything she would want us to know? Ignoring my intuition. All about the fame. Wait. Did she have a relationship? Was she in a relationship? This is almost like, I wish I had love in my... I wish I had went with love and not fame. I wish I had... Do you see my camera just started bugging out? Did you see that? I hope that picked up. I saw it. All of a sudden it started flickering. Wait, is this her dad, Spirit? No. Was she in a relationship at the end? Because this is either like... I think she wants people to know that the industry feeds off of you until you're like a shell of yourself, and this is like a warning, like, don't go this route. Because then I'm being drawn to how people like I've said this in general predictions where people are getting poached from like YouTube and stuff like that. So it's like, I think she's trying to tell us, follow your heart. Listen to what you love, what makes you vulnerable. Because this is about relationships. The Lover's card's right there. And then the Ego card's in reverse. It's like I didn't prioritize the things that mattered. I felt like a victim in my own life. I hid who I really was. I just wanted to be famous. And at the end, it cost me. I think if she had a relationship at the end, I don't buy that she was happy in it, because there's something here where it's like, I wish I had fallen in love. I wish I had prioritized relationships. There's something here though, because I don't know if like her friends, close friends are going to see this somehow, but there's something here where it's like I really did have good friends though. I really did have people that really rode for me, because this reminded me like DMX. I loved my friends. I loved my family. But I wish I had prioritized things that mattered over things that didn't. I wish I had been more vulnerable. I wish I had told people that I was struggling. I wish I had stopped pretending that I was strong when I wasn't. But that was a lesson I just needed to learn in this lifetime. And all I really cared about was making a name for myself. I wasn't thinking about what mattered. But this is also like, this kind of reminds me of like Heaven's Gate. So I think, and this happens with most souls, she's okay now. I do believe she's okay now. I see her like in the purgatory phase where it's like we're reflecting on what we did and didn't do, which is probably why there's this message here about like I wish I focused on love. And maybe a little less on religion here too, because this also reminded me of religion. And notice the stopping gesture with the hands. Maybe she feared religion. There's something here about religion. I don't know what her religious background actually was, but it's like, I just keep hearing like I didn't know any better. I wasn't being taught how to do this right. I didn't have people who got it. Like, did she have normal friends? Like, not actor friends? Did she have normal people friends? Because this is like, I think she had a lot of regrets at the end. And she doesn't want anyone else to feel the way she did. It's like prioritize and cherish the connections that you have. Prioritize and cherish your vulnerability. Prioritize and cherish being vulnerable. I ignored my intuition for fame and stardom. And at the end, I was left with nothing. Like, that's kind of the vibe. All right. Anything else about her death? And then we're just going to call it. I feel sad. Like, that's the energy. I feel sad. It's like, I feel like I wasted my life. Like, that's kind of the vibe. I feel like I wasted my life. It's like I was so focused on the money that I didn't really live. And then I was just bitter because my body was giving out on me and I didn't know what else to do. This is almost like also an apology about being snippy. When people commented on her look, she was like, I know that I was sick. I didn't want to hear it because I didn't want to accept that that was the truth, because it was triggering my wound of, again, and then I'm never going to be famous, right? Because like her face was starting to look sunken in, which is, again, why I think I don't think she was a full-blown alcoholic. I don't think that was it, because she would have a puffy face. But it was just like her body was giving out. I just think it was her time. I don't know. A lot of you are going to be like, 39, how's that fair? It's just how life works. Yeah, look at justice scales are upright. The world is a completion of cycles. This is like I didn't pour into myself the way I needed to. I didn't nurture myself the way I needed to. I don't think there's any blame on her parents. I think she understands why her parents did it the way they did. There's possibility. I don't know. I would say like 30% chance that like she ran with the, like things might have happened to her as a child. But I'm going to leave that alone, because it feels like she's a very private person and her family respected that and her friends respected that. But I can't ignore that I'm being drawn to the Diddy stuff. I'm not saying it was Diddy specifically, but maybe she was one of many that things might have happened to her when she was young, because now I'm being drawn to Quiet on Set. And what do we know that for? I did a whole playlist on it. Kids were being taken advantage of. So I almost wonder if there might have been some inappropriate things that happened to her at a young age. Not by her family, by like execs or producers or something like that. And so it's like I cut off from my heart early on to survive the industry, to survive what I had been through. Because I think she might have been one of many that, because I'm seeing like casting couch, you know what that means. I don't think she wants to talk about it too much, because it's like I want the focus to be on, it's honestly very moving. She's like, I want people to learn from my mistakes. You don't need to chase fame at the cost of yourself. If it feels wrong, say no. Money isn't the end all be all. I think, so I can't ignore it with that world card. I think something happened in her childhood where like she's just one of many, where there was an exec or something that, because I'm seeing like a little girl talking to a grown man, and then I see shush. So it's like, I think she had been through some shit, which again could make sense as to why she would lean on alcohol and why she might have had an anxiety disorder, maybe some depression. I think what I'm hearing is the industry chewed me up and spit me out. And when I wasn't useful anymore, they threw me away. Because notice how the justice scales aren't even. Even though justice is in the upright, so I don't feel anything too nefarious, but I think she was taken advantage of at a young age. And I think she learned early on to survive cut off from your heart. We see this with all the celebrities, right? Yeah. But I don't think she wants to talk too far into that. It's like I'm ignoring things that I shouldn't be ignoring so that I can make it in this industry. Because look at how this person's like trying to look over at the past, but like terrified, trying to run away from it. Like running from what? Look at these people that are cloaked. Justice scales uneven. I wouldn't even be shocked if there's a tape of her out there. Honestly, these fuckers are so disgusting. I don't know that it was like Diddy. I feel like there was like an executive producer. I just keep hearing executive producer. I think someone on some show Diddy'd her. To what extent? I feel like she don't want to talk about it. I think she just wants her fan base to know what happened and to understand and to learn. Because it's like I didn't nurture myself the way I should have. I didn't prioritize myself like I should have. I really feel like her parents were stand-up people. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel any I feel like I love my mom and dad. They did the best they could. I was a difficult kid. I'm glad they didn't do the autopsy. They should get the money. They deserve it. It's the least I could do. I was difficult in the end. It's almost like she started to push people away because she knew. They say, and I've seen it happen too, where your soul knows you're leaving before your brain does, obviously, because you'd freak the fuck out, right? I think she knew. I think that's why she was getting a little bit more angry, a little more defensive, a little more shut off. I see her pushing people away. It's like my time is numbered. And I think she has a lot of regrets because there's things that she wished she had come out about. I think this is also a message because it's like, if this video were to, reach the right people, it's like, tell your story. If you were, what's that? Oh my God, show it to me again. Where it's like, have you been a victim of, and then they like list an email and then they're like, it's encrypted so no one will be able to trace it. Like, I think she wants more celebrities to come out and tell their stories because I think that's a regret she has. Yeah, because I'm seeing a video of like when Britney Spears had an interview, very rarely, but like she cried on it and she was kind of like trying to ignore those emotions. Like, I think she tried to stuff her shit down. But I think the final answer for this is alcohol, mental health drugs, and not taking care of her body, all combined, stress, high stress levels. Like, I'm seeing high cortisol levels. I wouldn't even be shocked if she was on like blood pressure meds or she had been told to get on blood pressure meds because it's like, I'm really fucking stressed out. And it's just her body. It's like, yeah, if the liver had taken, there would have been an issue with a different, like maybe she would have needed a heart transplant right after that. And I think the parents knew. And so it was like, what is it? Let sleeping dogs lie. That's what I'm hearing. Let sleeping dogs lie. Seven of Wands, defensive, trapped, nowhere to go. Yeah, it's like she didn't feel like there was a way out. It's like, I don't have any fight left in me. That's kind of the vibe here. I just feel trapped. I don't have any fight left in me. I feel like a victim of my own choices and I feel washed up. Yeah, Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's no new opportunities for me. I've been waiting and waiting with that Wheel of Fortune. Nothing's coming in. And now I'm stuck. And so I'm not happy. Yeah, I think this is just a sad story. There's no conspiracy here, guys. I would tell you if there is, but I'm not going to lie for views. I think this is just a sad story of someone who didn't take care of herself that the industry chewed up and spit out, and her parents were just trying to protect her name at the end of it so that TMZ didn't run with the story of, oh, Michelle is a full-blown alcoholic. They didn't want her to go out like that. They just wanted it to be, okay, liver transplant, that's it. Move on with your life. It's sad, but it is what it is. There's no conspiracy here. So I honestly think we should just pray for the family while they grieve this tragic death. There's just like because I could feel Michelle. And it's like, I'm still here. I'm still watching over my family. I'm still next to them when they grieve. I'm looking at my fan base. It's like she visits like mega fans. That's what I'm seeing. She visits mega fans that are not taking her death well. And it's like, this is what I did it for you. I did it for you. This is why I cared. This is why I wanted to be famous, to matter and make people feel like they could matter too. It's just sad, guys. That's all it is. So I'm going to leave it here, besties. You let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think she just really wants us to know that, like, take care of yourself. You know what I mean? If something's going on, go to therapy, talk about it, work through it. Don't numb it. Don't suppress it, you know? Take better care of your health. Salad does wonders. Like, that's kind of the vibe here. So I'm going to leave it here. You guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok if they don't ban it. If you want to book a private reading with me, you can be added on the wait list. The Karmic DF, my email's in the description box. Just put wait list on the title. Or if you're seeing this in the future, just check out my website. But yeah, I just think Michelle was struggling and her body was giving out. So even if that liver did take, there would have been another health issue right after that. The body just couldn't do it anymore. And I also know, well, per channeling, I almost feel like the doctor might have said something like, you're going to have to stop drinking if we do this liver transplant. And I think she knew she wasn't going to do that. Because it's reminded me again, I've dealt with this my whole life. I've lost so many people to this. But it's like, I'm not going to stop drinking just because I get a liver transplant. This is just not going to happen. Like, I need to numb. I'm in too much pain. Like, I really feel like she was on anxiety meds, because this is like the anxiety meds aren't working, so I'm going to drink, or it's just not enough. Like, whatever she was, I really feel like she was on mental health meds, and it's just not working. It's not enough. I'm still in pain. I don't know how to deal with those emotions. I almost wonder if her father was very stoic. That doesn't mean he didn't love her, because I feel a need to protect her name and her... And not in a, like, for money and fame, but, like, protect her name because she's my daughter. But she was struggling, and I think her family knew that. Because I just keep hearing washed up. I feel like I'm a washed up celebrity. And think about it, right? Like, who are they going to be after that? You know, if you can't be a celebrity, you've been an actress your whole life, well, then what? You're going to be an accountant? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why they feel so lost when it doesn't work out. So, yeah. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this, as you know, if we could enjoy this, and I will see you guys in my next video. So take care of yourselves, because I think that's what she wants. And yeah, I don't know how to end this. Have a good day.
Life's complicated, we all have our faults. The more we are separate, we close off our hearts. No vulnerability and we can't connect. Lean on our vices to try and forget that we're only human, we all want the same. Egos and pride differ when we're to blame. Now you're alone in tears asking God why. Imagine what happened if we simply tried.